Anyhow, welcome to Copa America, one and all. This is the Season 1 Finals. Get your hype on because this is a best of 5. I'm Rifkin, casting tonight with Zombie Grub, and spawning here in the top left corner of the map from No Dice Gaming, it's the Red Zerg player, Cham.
He never writes as the Blue Terran, it is Ruff.
Who appears to have learned his lesson after the the quarterfinals. For those who missed it, Ruff played against cats on this map and did lift to the gold, as most Terran players have been lately, but was very strictly punished for it. Now, he said before the game even started he was looking to pull out some of the more old school builds this game. I'm not sure exactly what that entails.
Really? This is something that he's shown us before in his games. Cham going for the scout here is very important because it is habitation station. You always want to check that's Alaga for the lift off, as Rifkin was talking about. But in this, he's going to see that Ruff is going to be building on the low ground. This has happened before, and we actually called it, funnily enough, like what happens if he gets hard counted by a 6 pool. Someone did it. It worked. It worked pretty well. But Cham, it's quite a risk to go for the 6 pool, but he might go for like a pool first at least. Maybe, seeing this? Nah.
No,
it goes for the hatch
first.
I was about to say, because like I think the 6 pole works. It is so fast. Like anything above that actually would not work in time. Ruff would get a.
Well, it's not even about the 6 pole. I mean, just earlier lings in general. The fact that you go for this big wall off, it actually takes significantly more to wall it off entirely, opposed to like the 2 depots and the 1 racks you'd have up here. So. The idea is you get in there, guys, before the wall's fully done. I mean, the reason Zerg players don't go for early lings versus Terran is because you come up against the wall gets repaired forever, you waste your time.
Well, here's why it's nice for Ruff. I mean, we're going into detail, but like everything else is normal. This is the only thing that's abnormal. Is that with this map, habitation actually has a very small ramp. So it takes just 1 more supply depot to go ahead and wall it completely off with a natural. So if it was a 10 pool, I think he would actually have enough minerals because you're setting up so many for the command center that if you see it coming, you can slap down those 2 supply depots and actually be okay while your barracks is building. But Cham not going to go for any aggressive maneuvers. He went for the 15 pool anyways, or 15 hatch rather, and was just like, you know, okay, you're going to go for no Reaper, gasless, a little more economical.
You know, this is a little bit refreshing too, though, because one thing we've been talking a lot about on cast is how, you know, if you don't go Reapers, then you don't go for Hellbats. That's one of the rare situations Zerg players can just drone like crazy. A lot of the new pressure introduced through Heart of the Swarm and through most recent patches, be it through Reapers or be it through Hellbats, is making sure Zerg players just can't sit back and comfortably do that. They have to invest in some units, go down a tech path, you know, make 10 to 12 lings instead of just 4. But with Ruff just pumping out some Marines right now, the Watchtower, what's really nice is this Watchtower actually gives them a little place to hide behind, and no amount of lings could actually deal with these.
Right, but if he moves out like this, then the 6 lings that Cham is getting, unless they go in, you know, piece by piece like this, well, okay, 6 becomes 4 very quickly.
Yeah, only managed to attack one of those Marines once. A Spine Crawler comes down. A little bit worried about the pressure here, but it's not that much. It's just 3 Marines.
Of course, Cham has not set an Overlord inside the base, you know, knowing that there's not going to be a Reaper. That means Marines can't shoot down your Overlord. Hasn't actually confirmed that there's a low ground command center. And Ruff would be the type of person to go and like throw down like 3 racks or something weird like that and do a really super early 1 base push.
Well, he did just take all of his gases, though. That's what I'm a little bit curious about. To take all of your gases as a Terran player this early typically means you're either going down down the tech path of mech, or maybe going to invest in those starports that Ruff is so famous for.
Yeah. It's either going to be for like Blue Flame Helens, which aren't that great in this map, or the double starport. And I'm going to guess the double starport has a. I don't have enough minerals for it right now, but it definitely has enough gas for Blue Flame.
Yeah, it's just it seems so odd that, like, you take the 3rd one sometimes. I mean, you could do Blue Flame off of 2 as well. I just don't know the point of taking 3 and 4 if he's not going to go a little bit higher tech.
Yeah, it's got to be the double part Banshee. The thing is that since Ruff did go for the Marines, that is weird.
It's just such an exposed position. I mean, this would be terrible for later on. Like, if mutas come out, you snipe off your level 2 weapon upgrades. I can't imagine this is for anything other than weird vision bait.
He's probably not going for bio, honestly. And that is a double starport in the back, away from that that Overlord. The only reason I would think the engineering bay is that you could. Oh god, it's 3. Never mind. Is that you could fake it at like you could start like +1 and make them think that it's bio.
You know.
But I don't know.
I think somewhere out there, there's a Terran caster named Athenius with a big smile on his face. So for what this is going to be, guys, it's not going to be like Medivacs or anything quite so strange or weird. He's going to be investing the Banshees pretty heavily here. This is going to work out great because right now, Cham's kind of building blindly into what he assumes would be Hellbats the majority of the time, getting those early Roaches, getting the Spine Crawler down, not taking that faster third. And while he's going to Lair Tech, he'll eventually have his own mutas. The idea is, like, if you get these Banshees out fast enough, they can actually focus down that Spire before it even gets made.
Yeah, that's true. He has a couple of Roaches, only 4 going across the map. Usually with 4, it's only to defend at home against Hellions. But, you know, Cham, he's trying to decide what's going on because what he's seen is not a lot. So he's trying to start, like, listing, you know, what could it be. And, you know, against Ruff, like, it's so hard to... It's not even going to be triple Banshee. It's going to be immediately into Ravens. Like, who's going to expect that?
I have no idea what... This just took a huge swerve down. I mean, okay, guys... There's the phrase of having your dessert before your dinner type thing. If you go for mech, if you go for any composition really, the end game is to get mass Ravens out. Once you get to that point, Terran players are almost unstoppable. Without like perfect things like we saw Cats deal with it because I can't remember the name of the player, but the guy didn't really know how to handle his Ravens well. Ruff's a player who knows how to handle his Ravens. He's getting these out so freaking early. I mean, this is absurdity.
He kind of, you know... The Overseer, I mean, I guess it's a little early, a little bit, but you know, unfortunately is not able to kill it. It does see the, not only the starports, which you could have passed off as Ruff being Ruff with double port Banshee, but I believe you also saw the Ravens pop out. Which
I am just so flabbergasted. I'm sitting here so confused, like why this is gonna be the case. The other thing that mind boggles me a little bit here, if he had started his Ravens a little bit later, the Corvid Reactor would have finished, and these first ones would have had more energy, but. I mean, I guess they'll have 75 by the time the second round's out. It's just, I've never seen this build before, Zombie Girl. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. We've cast, you know, Ruff is the only one who shows us these weird builds, and the only one he's shown us so far was the fast Banshees. Now, he's definitely shown us on, I believe, Overgrowth that he is the type of guy that eats his dessert before dinner. Like, he will go for the double port Banshee into... you know, mass Vikings and Ravens, and like kind of skip the whole like siege tank Thor port of mech, you know, go for 5 bases, and that's what he's doing here pretty much. And Habitation Station is known for its mech and also swarm hosts, but why it will work right now and why Ruff stuff generally does kind of work, especially like not against like, you know, top level Koreans, is because Cham's so busy thinking like, what the hell is going on? What should I do against this? That, you know, he had to build a bunch of spores, thinking that it might have been Banshees. He had to build some Roaches in case it was Hellbats or Blue Flame Hellion.
He's going for auto turret harass right now. This is amazing.
Oh, there's so little queens. Like, Cham doesn't think there's going to be any pressure because he just scouted Ravens,
and the Roaches,
so he's not getting Hydras.
The Roaches are on the other side of the field. And there's a couple of spore crawlers.
Like, oh my god. He just needs any units, you're right. Well, he has a bunch of queens, actually. They're out in the front.
Auto turret range is massive, by the way, guys.
What the hell?
Now, while I can't exactly...
I love the crit.
Oh my god, I can't exactly say this will focus down the lair in time, but...
I think it will. Like, he's gonna focus it. Well,
oh my god, here comes the queens with a lot of transfuses, though. That's what I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah. There was
But auto turrets have so much health, and they've got building armor, too. So it's like, the drones coming back are getting slaughtered.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Yeah, they do. He researched the upgrade, what is it called, Terran building armor. Yeah, there you go, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he can't quite focus it down due to the transfuses from the queens. This definitely caught Cham off guard. He lost a lot of drones to this. A couple of Roaches, a couple of queens, whatever. But, you know, if that lair had fallen, that would have been devastating. Just straight up devastating.
Yeah. It's also researching the ventral sacks. He's going to try and do a mass Roach drop. It's so weird, alright? Like, we can call a regular mech game versus Roach drops pretty well, but against somebody going for mass Ravens into Banshees, like, what are Roach drops really doing?
Exactly. I mean, the idea for the Roach is that you get on top of the tanks, you get past the defenses, you don't have to deal with the wall. I think the key thing here, though, is there's not a lot of energy for Seeker Missiles on these Ravens. It's not that that's going to be what clears out the Roaches so much as the Banshees, but those Queens, you know, there's no point defense drones either. There's just not a lot of energy available to work with after that auto turret harass.
You know, though, like, the Banshee count really isn't that high. He made 3 and then he stopped, and it's coming right now. A bunch of Queens are also with it in case the Banshees do come. Yeah, not prepared at all. This might be, like, exactly what Cham should do.
I think he'll hold this. Point defense drone goes down, so the queen damage is going to be nullified.
Oh god, oh my god.
The Seeker missiles.
God, the ramps. Wow, this is exactly something he should not have done, apparently. Don't do this against Ruff.
This is,
he's getting a few SCP kills, I guess, but like that was a big
look at the
investment.
overlords
like,
he's losing, though.
Yeah, the tech itself costs a lot. You know, you're only on roaches. You just lost a lot of overlords.
You know, he's bleeding out workers pretty hard though. He still doesn't clean this up.
But he's actually on 4 bases. Like,
that's
however
true,
many
yeah.
worker kills he lost. Like,
but the planetary at the gold too, so the roaches can't even get in there. Did you get a high-tech auto tracker? Oh no.
Not yet. It's gotta be on the way. It's so funny to think that that engineer bay was like part of like his build order, guys. He was supposed to get the building.
Oh man, he's losing so many overlords right now. This is gonna be rough. Oh yeah, that's actually pun not intended, but Siege thinks Siege is up. He's gonna try and get here to repair the ramp. A couple Banshees left. He really needs to get more Banshees out, I think. I mean, the tanks are a great idea right now, but 2 Banshees just isn't enough DPS to deal with the roaches adequately.
Yeah, look how much. Oh wow, he's banking so much money. You know, we figured this. It's so weird. Like the initial attack did not do a lot of damage, but the remaining roaches are doing the most damage. Like the 12 that are like lingering are the ones doing so much damage to the economy. It's because his production wasn't up, I suppose. Like he doesn't have enough gas.
Well, 33 workers went down for that attack. He took out a good chunk of the siege tanks, but as you pointed out, Ruff's on 4 bases, and one of them is a gold.
Yeah. He really needs to take his gases, though. I think there was a problem there where he didn't take his 3rd base gases or his 4th base gases, and that's why he's making so many minerals. And also his production was halted so severely that 12 to 16 roaches did so much damage.
Look at Cham's anti-air, though. 2 Hydralisks, a couple Spore Crawlers. I mean, quite frankly, there's enough. If he just throws in some point defense drones, I think he's good. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The Hydras don't stand a chance.
Yo, I don't think Roach Hydra is actually the way to deal with it. But
no, it's got to be infestors. You got to get infestors for anything Raven related.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That is. It's just so odd to get them so fast.
Okay, he's one volleying down the Hydras at this point with the Banshees.
This is so frustrating. Like I'm not even playing this and I'm watching. Like Cham must be so frustrated.
Lands the Vikings for some DPS, trying to focus down that Spore Crawler. Queen also going to go down. Last couple Hydras trying to come in from the natural base, but they're wasting so much time cleaning up auto turrets of all things. They don't even get involved into the real fights. So
far, he hasn't done any economic damage. You know, Cham is still on 82 drones. His army is still coming out. He had a lot of minerals.
That's true. I mean, one thing I would have loved to have seen out of Ruff is like 100 Hellions underneath this to deal with the Hydras.
Oh, he needs another point defense drone. He ran out of energy. As soon as he ran out of energy, he probably should have left.
Wow, he never invested in Cloak? Oh, that's got to be a mistake. Not having Cloak for those Banshees is huge. There really wasn't any detection there. They could have cleaned up the rest of the Hydra.
Spore Crawlers. Yeah, I think he notices it too because he starts his Cloak.
Yeah.
That counterattack was supposed to like do some damage, but really it took down like some of the army, but not nearly enough. Cham's still working on a very good economy with that 4th and now 5th base up at the habitation station on the gold base. And now it's just a numbers game right now, and the Ravens don't even have enough energy to help out, really.
That's very true. He never started to produce more Ravens either, just continuing with Banshee production and Hellions for now. I do like the Hellions. This is really nice. This Overlord drop actually might hurt more than help, because the Overlords will get picked off, maybe die with 4 Hydras inside of them, but the Hydras will come out one at a time. A lot easier for those Hellions to focus fire them down, rather than running into a whole mob of Hydras. And I mean, where's he drop this? Planetary? If he does that, that's not going to work too well. Main base, I guess.
He's going up to the very top, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't realize Ruff has like no production.
Right, yeah, exactly. His only production really was his starports, but now he's severely supply blocked. He doesn't have any upgrades because of his build is really good. I don't think it went the way he wanted to, honestly. He's going into a normal mech game now, but he doesn't have nearly enough. Like, this is like a mech player you would see like 140 supply like 7 minutes ago or something like that. Like,
oh, this is gonna be devastating. Look at the Overlords coming to the main zombie grub. There's just nothing here to defend against this. And Hydra DPS is so high, these buildings are going to go down so fast, even with that building armor. Ruff's coming back to respond.
Really prepared against someone who played weird. You know, he seems pretty good. Like, that first Roach drop didn't seem like it would do well. Ended up doing a lot of damage.
Missiles.
He splits, though. He's been pretty good about splitting.
This is an Overlord with a lot inside of it. Auto turret's going down mostly out of desperation. Cloak is finished, but he's got to pick up that Overseer if he wants to really utilize it.
It's possible. He needs a focus.
I mean, Ruff's been so far down in supply for a long time. He was supply blocked at 124 for what felt like an eternity. He's starting to pick up the Hydras. They don't have a lot of health, guys.
He will pick up all of the Hydralisk, and in fact, with the Vikings still alive, I believe, he can't escape either with these last remaining Overlords. Trying to morph of an emergency Overseer, attacking at the front as well, not actually going to work out, and Cham He kills the main base. Like that's really good because gets all the
But you know what?
factory production and the command center.
I think getting the armories and the engineering bay was the only thing he really got out of this. There was something like what, 2 factories up here, 3 factories?
But that's all Ruff had. He has no other factories.
Right, but he's also been relying heavily on his air, not exactly his ground forces.
Well, he was trying to start. He was trying to start getting his mech army. He realized that there were just too many Hydras.
Yeah.
So now you can see he throws on 7, realizing that like I probably should have done this earlier, honestly, but now I really need it because all my factory production's down.
Finish the overseas. Okay, I guess it's a Viking bag.
Okay, this next attack is what looks.
I think the supply is
really scary one.
It's too big of a supply difference at this point. Ruff's got some cool tactics. He's got some decent siege tanks, but this time he's got no point defense drones. Well, he's got like maybe 1 or 2. His Ravens, or sorry, his Banshee's also out of energy. There's not a lot of tanks, and even if those factories complete, they're not gonna have the add-ons to build anything other than 1 Hellion at a time. Oh my god, this is the ultimate doom drop. How many overlords are here? Jesus.
Enough to make sure the Vikings will kill any important ones.
Well, actually, there's almost no Vikings left after that attack, so Ruff's wouldn't have mattered. I don't know. Either way, point defense drones, or sorry, secret missiles actually being utilized here.
Well, and the overlords actually were not that useful.
Nah, if he had caught that before they unloaded, that could have been devastating. But as we see, it didn't really kill much of anything. For Ruff, I mean, this is, I don't know. This looks like the end here to me.
Yeah, me too. Again, getting on top of all the production that Ruff just built. Ruff doesn't have an army. You could attack in the front as well. I believe he has some reinforcements coming in. The upgrades also playing a huge part as Ruff took forever to get into upgrades. Those infestors actually haven't done anything. They were made a long time ago.
I can't help but feel like had he not been supply blocked at 124-ish, I think that's what it was at least.
Really helped.
Yeah, I mean, it's he had so many Hellions in queue, he had tanks in queue at that time, he had more Banshees or Vikings, I don't remember which, but he had stuff, like, everything had something queued, but nothing was building. And this is really snowballed out of control. He saves 2 factories, but I mean, it's weird to consider that his main base is the most compromised part of his infrastructure.
It's true, it's true. He's still mining off of 3 bases. This is what's... I mean, look at
he's got a bank, but he can't spend it. He's just got no production.
Exactly, and Cham doesn't feel comfortable going down here because it is mostly a high-risk army, and even though there's only 4 tanks and not even going to be shooting at the same time, it's still, I guess, too scary.
Oh, he still didn't... I realized he was researching Blue Flame earlier. I didn't realize it actually got picked off. So that kind of sucks. The Hellions that would have been otherwise his saving grace, not even able to do that much for him. Tanks will try and hold the Hydralisk line, but down here towards the south, planetary fortresses are all that's really available. Finally got some infestors out, and finally got some fungal growths flying, but I kind of feel like Cham at this point could just really bully his way forward. Roach Hydra to victory.
Look, oh my god, 33 Hydralisk are on the way.
Yeah. Still's got upgrades going for him too. Let's not forget, Ruff's only got like level 1 armor for mech, and it's what, 3-1? Yeah, 3-2 in a moment here for Cham.
Yeah.
Banshees do a phenomenal amount of DPS though, I gotta say, like even without upgrades.
Yeah. Yeah. Not quite sure why Ruff is so adamant about staying in here. I mean, he still has a bank, so maybe that's why he thinks that he still has a chance. But, you know, it's still game number 1 out of 5, potentially. And I think there are some very obvious mistakes that he definitely could have fixed. You know, there was that huge supply block. There was the attack that maybe the counterattack really didn't do so well.
His production was also really low when he had a lot of money. I mean, we could really nitpick this game all day, guys, but a lot of this came down to the fact that Ruff meant to end the game with that one big push he did. You know, the auto turret harass was cool, and the follow-up was supposed to be like what kind of was a killing blow, or at least a crippling blow, and sadly, neither really accomplished their intended goals. This is so hard to watch. That seeker missile is gonna hurt the Vikings. Oh my god, the friendly fire. The friendly fire is so real.
They need to add that thing into the TL article, man. You know, list of why Terran is bad, and then you add also friendly fire.
It didn't even repair his planetary. I think Ruff is fully aware that this game is over, but he's just perhaps.
He really wanted to.
You know what? I got it.
To use his bank.
I got it. Hang on. Well, that and the fact that we talked to him that one time, right? He's a smart guy. He's planning his next moves. That's what he's doing.
Oh, he's going for the motions, but really he's like, what should I do next?
Exactly. Like he's just like, all right, the more planning time I have now. I have no idea if that's the case or not, but these last couple Overlord drops should seal the deal, guys. These secret missiles are such a for effort thing this game, I gotta say.
They always seem like they'd be really cool, but Cham just seemed really well prepared. I mean, You know, it wasn't like a 100% clean game, but it was like a 90% clean game for Cham. Like, he just seems on top of things.
I think it's hard to say that he came prepared, though. I mean, the reality is, he just saw the weird stuff his opponent did. He was going Roach Hydra in the first place, continued to go Roach Hydra, and just adapted to what Ruff had done, rather than like being prepared for it. I think that's the take I got off of it, at least.
You can sort of try and prepare against just weird.
I guess you brace yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're just joining us, this is the best of 5 here for the 3rd and 4th place match